First big weekend of high school football, so let's get ready for it.
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey everybody, Luke Robinson riding solo right now. Jimmy Stein unable to make it. It's his anniversary. Give him some slack, So anyway, want to thank everybody for joining us, making us your first listen, and very, very excited about this week. First week of high school football. Some games started last night. This is just going to be a quick, really one segment podcast to talk about the high school football coming up and what you need to watch. I personally will be calling the Thompson and Opelika game. That's tonight from Crampton Bowl. Really, really excited about that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun. Trent Seaborn, of course, the ninth grader who won MVP for Thompson last year, winning the state championship, their fourth in a row. Obviously, I'll be there checking him out. I mean, Alabama giving him a big look. He's got some ties to the Tagovailoas. All that's been talked about ad nauseum, but he's a fantastic player. Anquan Fagans, who's committed to Southern Cal right now. Obviously, he's taken some trips. I think he came to Alabama's barbecue back in July. So, I mean, that's recruitment is certainly not over. Defensive back from Thompson. But Thompson's got some other guys. A.J. Green, not the same one. Running back who's very good. He's got offers from Jacksonville State, Southeast Missouri State, and Alabama State. Caleb Harris, a defensive back. Very good player. He's got offers from Auburn and South Carolina, Georgia Tech, Florida, Tennessee. So he's got some nice offers. Penn State. Alabama's not on that list yet, but they could be. Can't wait to see how he plays tonight. And then, of course, Trent Seaborn, who's been offered by practically everybody. Just an amazing player. Then there's Malik Autry, who plays for Opelika. He's committed to Auburn, so you always like to see how your rivals are doing. He's in the Auburn-Opelika area, obviously, so it makes a lot of sense that he'd be headed to Auburn. I'm anxious to see how he's going to be. He's for the 2025 class, so he is only a junior, but he is already committed to Auburn. There's a bunch of other games out there tonight, some of them involving Alabama teams and some of them not. I want to take a quick moment, though, and tell you about Betterhelp, because this is really important to me. I've talked about it before on the podcast. I've suffered from depression most of my life, and you never really overcome it, I guess, but worked my way through a lot of stuff. And Betterhelp is the kind of place that you want to visit to help you with any of your struggles. They are just fantastic. They love working with you. And this show episode is sponsored by Betterhelp and brought to you by Betterhelp. And they are just great people. Go check them out. You just go to betterhelp.com/lockedoncollege, betterhelp.com/lockedoncollege. That's BetterHelp, HELP. And, that's the key. I mean, they want to help you. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. If you're thinking of starting therapy, just give them a try. It can't hurt. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. I know for me personally, when I was seeing a counselor way back when, and I'm not saying I don't go anytime now, but way back when, it's also almost embarrassing to go visit somebody personally, because you think there's such a stigma associated with it. So if you were worried about something like that, BetterHelp is a great place to go check out. There shouldn't be a stigma associated with it. Mental health is very, very important. Go to betterhelp.com/lockedoncollege. I want to talk about some of the other games. Auburn and Hoover tonight. That one's going to be a lot of fun. Wetumpka and BRHS right here in my hometown of Alexander City. Malcolm Simmons committed to Auburn. I know most of y'all might not worry about that. I'm certainly pulling for the kid just because he's from my hometown. I'm going to be a fan of his no matter where he goes. Also, another game tonight that you definitely want to check out. If you can't get out and go see one of the games in your hometown or wherever you are, Lipscomb Academy is going to be taking on Saraland. That's going to be on ESPN. I think it's going to be at 8 o'clock, an 8 o'clock kick. It might be a 7 o'clock kick, but I'm not sure if they've pushed the time back on that. I know for my game that I've been calling on WOTM, if you have access to that channel, Thompson Opelika, it's been pushed back to 8 o'clock for heat warnings. But Lipscomb has Deuce Knight, a quarterback Alabama's looking at. I think he's originally from Mississippi, but now he's at Lipscomb Academy in Tennessee. You probably saw him play last week against Carrollton, where we bragged on Caleb Odom, how well he played in that game for Carrollton. Juju Lewis, who has since committed to Southern Cal, played really well in that game as quarterback for Carrollton. But Deuce Knight looked pretty good too, and his team ended up winning. That should be noted. But of course, they're going to be playing Saraland, who's got, a guy that we're kind of familiar with in Ryan Williams, absolutely unbelievable player. People are bragging on him like there's no tomorrow. I'm not saying he's going to reclassify. I'm also not saying he's going to reclassify. I don't think anybody knows for certain. It wouldn't shock me if he reclassified. I'll put it that way. Saraland also has KJ Lacey, who's committed to Texas. Alabama's still in on him and probably pushing even a little bit harder, considering Juju Lewis has committed to Southern Cal. That recruitment's a long way from over too, but KJ Lacey, a really good player, and being committed. If Steve Sarkisian likes you, you're probably a dead gum good quarterback. Tomorrow night, there's some games that are going to involve some guys at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I think these are Eastern time. So at 3 o'clock, I believe, on ESPN2, St. John Bosco out of California is going to be taking on St. Thomas Aquinas. So that's going to be Peyton Woodyard. And he's really, really doing well. A lot of people believe he will shoot up the rankings, get well into that top 50 range by the time everything is said and done. Tomorrow night, Saturday night on ESPN2, be IMG Academy taking on St. Joseph's Prep out of Pennsylvania. IMG, of course, has several guys that are just awesome. They got Ellis Robinson, a lot of people consider him the best player in the country for this year, committed to Georgia. Alabama tried to get back in on him. It didn't work out. They also have Turbo Rogers, running back for the 2025 class. And then at 10 o'clock, this is one I'm dying to see. It could be 9 o'clock. Again, check these times. But I believe it's going to be 9 o'clock on ESPN2. It'll be Mater Day taking on Carlsbad. Carlsbad, of course, has Julian Sayin. And, man, I'm not a guy who likes to stay up late, but I want to stay up late 2 nights in a row. We'll be calling this game way into the night tonight, Thompson, Opelika. And tomorrow I got to stay up, and I got to see my main man, Julian Sayin. Really looking forward to that one. Got to see how he performs against Mater Day, because they have got a bunch of dudes. Mater Day always has dudes, and they have got a bunch of dudes. So last night's action, I want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine, Robert Gamble, his son Cole Gamble. Even though Mountain Brook lost to Vestavia for the first time in 7 meetings, Cole Gamble rushed for about 214 yards, I think. This kid, he's not going to get an Alabama offer. He's not going to get an Auburn offer, I don't think. But I know he's a fantastic human being, and I know he lives, sleeps, eats, breathes football. And all he does is rush for a boatload of yards every time he touches the rock. So very excited for his future. Vestavia 7A, Mountain Brook 6A. It doesn't affect anything in their area. So, again, not the worst thing that could have happened for Mountain Brook. And it may be a good wake-up call for them. And I'm going to discount some of these games early on. The heat factor is going to be a thing. That's going to be something that's going to be a thing tonight. I'm going to look out for it, because I'm telling you, it is so hot out there when you're playing. That kept me away last night from going to the Mountain Brook game. That and the fact that I was exhausted from travel. But I just said I can't go over there right now. It's just too miserably hot. And so you can imagine the players out there and what they're dealing with. But I highly encourage everybody to go check out a high school game tonight. The kids really do appreciate it. I know it's going to be hot. I know I just complained about it myself. But I'm going to be calling a game tonight, so I will be at a game tonight. So you go check out a game. There's nothing to it. The games at Crampton Bowl are going to be a lot of fun. And this Thompson Opelika game, can't wait to give you a wrap-up. Jimmy and I have already talked. We plan on having a podcast tomorrow. We'll be anxious to talk about Ryan Williams. I'm sure he's going to have a big night tonight. Going to put that game on my phone while I'm calling this game, so I hope I don't get anything mixed up. Would appreciate everybody subscribing to this channel. Would appreciate everybody tuning in on WOTM tonight. Check out Opelika and Thompson. And until next time, roll tide, everybody.